All right, class. So getting back to our review sessions. For parenthetical citations, make sure that you can differentiate between the citation and the works cited page. Remember, the works cited page goes at the end of your essay. It's the very last page and it is all on its own. After you've completed the essay portion in the last essay page, you will go down to the following page. Parenthetical citation, quotation, reference versus the direct quote and then paraphrasing. Okay, so make sure you know you can paraphrase words and then you still need to cite your source. You can't simply take somebody else's concepts and then say that it's your own. You can completely paraphrase it. You don't have to note the author. You don't have to note the book, but you do still have to make sure that there is a citation so that when they go down to the last page and they look at the works cited, they can see who the originator of that idea is. In other words, they can reference it. That's why it's called a reference or works cited. Make sure that you could choose from a multiple choice question. Examples of a proper internet works cited. Referencing a parenthetical citation within the paper. So for example, I have right here for you, I'm going to hold this up, but this is from your chapter 11 worksheet. I think this is page 3. And then also note questions to ask your professor when your test finally arrives. How many sections will there be on this exam? How should we study for this exam? And what percentage of your overall grade is determined by the exam? One of the most effective ways to study for an exam is what? Well, simply ask the instructor what to study for with class. If it's a decent instructor that you have, they'll already have told you in your classroom or online or given you some paper, giving you some instructions like study guide. And of course, in dealing with panic, I don't think that any of that's going to be on the final. I really hope that what we discussed in class was helpful. Everything from having a plan, remembering the big picture, taking breaths, practicing relaxation exercises, and then of course, having that scripture ready, because remember, we do not fight against flesh and blood, but against what? Principalities and the powers and the rulers of the darkness of this age. This is not just a mental issue. It's very spiritual. And a lot of times, remember, our conversations, they tend to overlap. So we've completed chapter 11 and 10 and 11. Let's move on to chapter 12. Chapter 12 is test-taking strategies. So let's hit what I would state is probably the big kahuna. And by that, I mean the best way to make guesses for intelligent guessing in general, actually. Critical thinking for fill in the blank, true or false, and multiple choice. You need to have these memorized, not just for my final, but for the rest of your life, class. You're going to have these questions and you want